हैं?
अभी नहीं चलता।
ले लिया।
We provide research support, but all of them are quite competitive. And because they are competitive, because they are because they are competitive, it is important that you are writing project in the most professional way. What I am going to tell you today would probably help you by a factor of 5 to 10%, and remaining is your own subject, because I can't comment upon your subject. Your subject is your subject. But like you have seen during the admission, each point counts. Same way, when we are looking at various research opportunities, the success rate depends upon several factors, and those factors I'm going to discuss with you how we could make it. So when we start writing or developing the project, it looks like a puzzle box, and we are not sure which thing goes where. But all of that could be made very simple, provided you take a decision that yes, I am willing to write it. And in India, there are several agencies which are supporting research. Now this is not a complete list. This is only a suggestive list. Okay, there could be agencies outside that, and also a lot of international grants are available. And if we discuss in terms of research opportunities, they comes in the form of opportunities for individuals, which could be by fellowship, by way of overseas exposure, or by way of regular research calls. So when we talk about fellowship, I think all of you know about this GHRDC, SRF and RF. This is something I'll not say much, except that one has to qualify a national level test. And once you have qualified, then fellowship. But second most important, and that is Prime Minister's Fellowship. Now, Prime Minister Fellowship is a concept which has been introduced to students to encourage looking towards industrial challenges. So those students who are working on research challenges which could be of interest to industry, they could go for this fellowship. And then we have got NPDF, and here, sir, I would seek your attention. I'll seek your attention. NPDF is an opportunity. It's 2-year program given by several agencies, whether it is DST, NIRF, DBT, CSIR, Atomic Energy, Space. Now, this is a good platform for you. Now, whenever you are recruiting young faculty, it is better you invite them as NPDF. Let them prove to you what they are worth for a year or two. This is a 2-year assignment. So if they prove to you how good they are, probably you would be finding suitable. Because otherwise what happens, you are taking interview for half an hour, and it is a question of half an hour versus 2 years of interview. So you can put the fellow on observation. Now, only thing I tell people is, NPDF is not extension of PhD. PhD for me is a process by which you learn how to form questions. And you also learn how to find answer, how to explore answer to the question which you have done. Of course, you are being guided by your teacher, mentor, whatever you call it. But the overall thing is that you need to have an independent question. And that's the basic difference between PhD and other courses. For other courses, there is a syllabus. In PhD, there is a question. And it all depends how clear you are on your own question, because then only you can find a good answer. So PhD is a process of learning to form question. So NPDF, you need to do something. Now PhD, of course, you have to, after forming the question, you have to do something. See that you did question number 1. NPDF should be question number 2. It cannot be extension of PhD. Okay. Only thing you can do is, you can use all your experience of whatever processes you have learned during your PhD to apply for question number 2. Now, second thing here I would like to say to all of you, you cannot remain stable in your research domain for more than 4 years, 5 years. You need to migrate. You need to learn something new. You need to learn something different. Because if you remain stable, then your learning possibilities would get limited. So, while you hold your strength in a particular domain, you should slightly see all around it in related disciplines. So that is for NPDF. So my request to you is that please start hunting. Lot of PhDs from several of our premier institutions are looking for placement, and probably you could host them here, see them, and then look for them. Swan PhD Fellowship and JC Post Fellowship are for those fellows who have established themselves in a given field, and they come with some personal money. You know, otherwise normally grants given to the faculty are not having any personal money. But here it comes, whatever the university pays, beyond that also you can get some money. Inspire Fellowship is a very, very long program. We start from the school, then undergraduate level, master level, doctoral level, postdoctoral level, we are providing that. So Inspire Faculty Awards are another opportunity. Inspire Faculty Awards are for 5 years. So if you could attract someone, Inspire Fellow to work, that is also possible. And then of course those who have superannuated from the normal service would also be invited as distinguished scientists. Now of course there is a new name, they call it National Science Chair. So if they are good in a particular subject, they are still active, and the only requirement is that they should not hold any administrative responsibility. Because once you are superannuated, if you are only looking for scientific research, then this scheme is good for you. There are a lot of programs which are providing you opportunities to go out. Window program is meeting with Nobel laureates. So it's cyclic program, 1 year physics, 1 year chemistry, 3rd year biology and medicines. Asian Science Camp is happening somewhere in Asia. There are international projects, PhD placement program. During PhD also, the student can go up to 6 months in a foreign institution. There are several programs for that kind. And then as an individual, there are programs like for early career, which are given by several agencies, DST, NIRF, TBT, Wellcome Trust, Earth Sciences. A lot of agencies are giving. And those who cannot qualify for early career research, they are eligible for regular grants. There are collaborative grants. So grants, of course, is saying altogether it could be a new lecture, but I just thought I could summarize to you what would be the broadly individual grants. Beyond individual, there are institutional grants. Now, when we are talking about FIST, I'm not sure, sir, any department has got FIST here? No. So, FIST is a program where we are looking for supporting scientific equipment. Now, how these equipments are decided? That as a department, you need to propose. So, minimum 6 faculty in a department should come together and put up a proposal, what kind of research they would like to do, and what kind of equipment facilities would be needed. So while department would fund equipment, it is expected that civil infrastructure like space to house that equipment, electricity cost, and those kind of costs are borne by the participating institution. And this support is gradual. From 1.5 crore, it can go up to 20 crores. And after you get level, any particular level, you need to sustain it. And if you sustain it, then you are eligible for next round. So support like that is available. This is from Department of Science and Technology, and this is from Department of Biotechnology. So here, biotechnology also supports program for scientific infrastructure. So I think collectively, if you discuss among yourselves and see what kind of, in fact, I would like to say, you should question yourself, why IMS be known in NCR? And if you question this thing, you will find out that there could be one or two research ideas what you can pursue, nurture, develop, and then prove your credentials to the community so that people become more and more dependable. And the next thing is innovation and entrepreneur center. So a lot of incubation facilities have been prescribed by several departments, several research funding agencies. A lot of private sector funding is available, angel funding is available for that purpose. I have just taken this from Department of Science and Technology, but a lot of departments are doing. Now, I must say, why there are a lot of research opportunities? They are quite competitive. And several times, in fact, when I was in office, people used to complain that we can't get your grant because we come from private college. And I said, no, that's not the reason. Because any grant, if you see, there would be some private institutions who have got it. The reason is that a lot of private colleges lack on infrastructure. Faculty is not publishing regularly. So, you need to see, although it may not be exact comparison, but if you go to bank to take a loan, what bank manager is interested in? Bank manager is interested in what is your civil rating and what is your income. So your civil rating is your background. How much you have published, where have you published? That tells him or that tells reviewer whether they should be confident or investing in you. So if you have published in good journal means Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, then they know that you are an investigator worth putting some money. But if your papers are only in conferences, non-indexed journals, then probably their confidence will be shaky. So you need to be very confident that second they would like to see whether you are consistent in publication. Like if you have taken a research team, so all your publications are coming around that or they are scattered. One you have published in water pollution, second you have published in, let us say, materials, third you have published in biology, it doesn't help. So you need to be broadly consistent in a given domain. So that you need to take care. Third, they are looking at what kind of infrastructure you are recommending. And if you show them that you have required infrastructure, and in case you don't have infrastructure, then you have tied up. You know where the infrastructure exists, where you can do the given research assignment. That will also help. So for this, of course, you need to write a proposal. So proposal, if I could say, is a simple thing in the written statement of your intention, what you would like to do. And you can plan, review, And once you have done it, then it acts as a guide. And it will impose both time and monetary restriction. Now, fortunately, in academia, we are not bothered about time and cost. But if you are in industry, these are very critical. You cannot compromise on time and investment. You need to show the output. But this is something you need to do. Now, second best, most important thing is how you are conveying your idea to other fellows. You know, normally all funding agencies are expecting that your proposal is assessed by someone who is working in close proximity to your area of work. Okay. Now, if you can convey that fellow what is that you would like to do, then you are fine. But if you are not good enough in conveying that thing, then that idea remains entirely yours. It's not conveyed. So, the most important part is that we need to convey. I think this is just a repeat. Please excuse me for that. Now, there are several parts in a project. I think all of you, those who have done PhD, they are very well familiar that how they need to write, all of them. So, unless someone has any question on this thing, I would like to skip this slide. What is more important? Now here, only thing I would like to say, in whatever research proposal you write, there may be different formats, but these would be the essential questions in any form. So you need to write those questions. And second thing I would like to say, referees are also human beings like us, and they would like to take a decision on the project as early as possible. So it is important for you that you sustain your interest in the project document. And how you can do that? They would read your title, project title, and they would read project objective. And if they are not satisfied with that, it goes in the dustbin. Less than 2 minutes it takes to take a decision like that. But if you generate some excitement in that by title and by objective, then they read the introduction, and then they would like to read more. So please note that your title needs to be precisely saying what you are intending to do, and your project objective should be crystal clear what you would like to achieve. Now, what is that they are looking at? So first thing is what new you are going to do. So as we all know, in research, scientific novelty is prime. No replication, no duplication. You need to be very clear why you are doing this. And if you could satisfy yourself, you can satisfy others. Okay. So innovation is key factor which you should take care of. Language needs to be simple. As I said a little ago, you need to convey your idea. People should appreciate what you are going to do. These days, there are issues like sustainable development goals. We are looking that our research should go beyond scientific publication. It should help our society. It should help our industries. It should solve a given challenge. So you need to be expressing what is that you can do. Then your own personal strength. Now this is a difficult question because you are not there when your proposal is being assessed. So people are looking at your biodata, they look at your previous records, and sometimes they also look your digital profile. Now I'm not sure, but if I could ask you, please raise your hand. How many of you have got your digital research profile, like on social media, like Google Scholar, ResearchGate? Very good. So those who do not have yet, please create. Because whenever any reviewer is not clear what you have written, they would like to see your digital profile. And it also helps you, like suppose you want to know what are the publications in a given domain. Digital platform can give you much faster the information. So please, my request to you is, all of you, especially those who do not have, please create one, and those who have, please keep it updated. Because that is regularly being watched by several firms. And then people are looking, is it a feasible project? Are you going something that is time schedule is practical? What is your personal enthusiasm? And this enthusiasm is not taken care initially, because when it is a written document, you are not very clear. When it is a written document, it is not very clear. But when you go for presentation, in presentation, they are not worried what you are saying. This is your body language. How convinced you are of your own idea. How persuasively you can argue. What you can talk about. And then they would like to see your literature studies. Obviously, again, digital platform will help you for that. And then what are the promises you are making to make it happen. Of course, you need to do a lot of prior work. So research papers you need to see, you need to collect baseline data. Either you should say that you will be conducting the baseline experiment by yourself. Sometimes you will say that I am taking baseline data from a given source. If you are doing from given source, for example, you are doing weather research and you are taking data, it should be authenticated by IMD. Okay, so baseline must be authentic. You should know what kind of experiment you are going to do, and of course your head of the institution should know. And in case it's a multidisciplinary research, these days a lot of calls are coming in multidisciplinary nature. They are not coming just like that we need a proposal in chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, computer engineering. They are always coming. We are looking for involvement of more than one discipline. Facilities in your institution, and in case they are not there, then you need to see that where you can do. You need to have some prior agreement. Clearance, especially for biofuels, is required. Now coming to the projects, no project is asking what is your aim. They are asking objectives. And the idea is very simple. Because whatever you make a commitment can be assessed whether you have achieved it. So my suggestion is make objectives smart. Smart means specific, measurable, attainable, result oriented, and time bound. So if you could make objectives smart, it helps. Then you need to do a lot of background check. Okay, so you need to know what is latest, what is known, what is the new update, whether the concept has changed. All those questions you need to ask when you are developing the research idea. Now, then the most critical thing comes. Why should any agency fund the right? Here, I would like to take you back to your childhood and then see if, yes.
Sir, actually, I have been going through these things, but I have a big problem in selecting a particular research article that must be more appropriate in my research area. Sometimes we search these things based upon keywords, but still we have so many papers plus बहुत सारे इधर उधर की चीज़ें उसमें हो जाती हैं, and we never find such a research article that is so specific to the our keywords. So what is the solution of this? How can I select a paper for our research?
नहीं, जो आपने बताया आपका मन भटक जाता है।
मैं नहीं भटकता।
नहीं, देखिए, if you are focused, what you are going to do, you will read 10 articles around that. But still you will have an opinion that this is what I would like to learn. Now problem is something like internet surfing. We start especially our youngsters, they start searching for a good reason, and then soon they are diverted by the advertising, and then they migrate. So we need to be rock solid what we are going to do. Okay, and once you are very clear, this is my research question, so you would read number of articles from that, but you will remain focused to your question. So that's why I was saying formation of question is very important.
How many keywords should be matched in
It's
that
not a
article?
question of a number of keywords, it's a question of idea. What you would like to do. The keyword will come later. So here I was asking you to go back to your childhood and remember that all of you had so many wishes. Whether your parents agreed to all your wishes, and now since you are parents, are you agreeing to all the wishes of the child or children? So funding agency is something like same. So what you are doing as a child, and probably what your children are doing now, they are constantly chasing. We need this, we need this, we need this. And sometime it will happen, you will get convinced. Don't give up just like that. You know, you have learned it from the childhood, right? That you will not get anything in the first book. So what funding agency or as a parent party were looking, first they need to get convinced of your idea, that your idea is good for you. Okay, sometimes they say कि PlayStation चाहिए, बोला PlayStation तो चाहिए, खेलने में तो टाइम बर्बाद करेगा, है ना? Nobody is thinking कि imagination कहाँ से आती है? Scientific fiction has given a lot of invention, lot of ideas, but क्योंकि हम लोग एक ही ट्रैक पे सोचते हैं, है ना? कि वो अगर PlayStation आएगा तो इंटरटेनमेंट का मतलब ये है वो पढ़ाई छोड़ देगा, वो खेलना छोड़ देगा, सिर्फ इसी पे लगा रहेगा. So you need to convince that there could be some plus points. Okay, so जैसे आप पेरेंट को कन्विंस करते थे अपने बचपन में, या जैसे आपके बच्चे आपको कन्विंस करते हैं, ठीक उसी तरह से आपको फंडिंग एजेंसी को कन्विंस करना है कि भाई मेरा रिसर्च आइडिया में ये दाम है, मेरा रिसर्च आइडिया इसलिए सपोर्ट होना चाहिए. If you can do that, that would be fine. So just to give you one example, ये एक अफ्रीका में वैक्सीन का प्रोग्राम है, उसका साइंटिफिक बेनिफिट है, उसका सोशल बेनिफिट है, ट्रेनिंग ऑफ ह्यूमन रिसोर्स हो रही है, नई साइंस डेवलप हो रही है. सो ऑल दोज एस्पेक्ट्स. सो क्वेश्चन एक ही है कि हमें वैक्सीन देना, बट एस्पेक्ट्स आर सेवन, एंड यू नीड टू सी व्हाट वुड बी डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट्स व्हेन इट स्टार्ट. सो व्हाट आवर फ्रेंड वाज आस्किंग, द मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन इज आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम. Okay, and you need to be crystal clear what you would like to do, how you are going to convert your idea into a model, and also, as I said earlier, to explain it to others. The next question is, does it help society or does it help you? See, there is no denial to the basic science research. You can do basic science research, no problem. Some support is available for that. But easy support is available for them who are what is required by the society. So if you are solving a challenge, that is much good. And then our growth has been subject vertical. Somebody knows physics, somebody knows chemistry, somebody knows mechanical engineering, somebody knows computer engineering. Our challenges are not like that. So challenges would require multidisciplinary approaches. So you need to always see, can you do the given task by yourself? Or do you need contribution from some other faculty? And if yes, talk to that person. Think big but achieve. Now here what is important, that whatever promises you make, if you are given a project grant, next time when you apply, people would like to see what was the promises you made in your first grant and what was the outcome you delivered. So please be very confident what you are promising. So of course, innovation has many ideas, many ways people have written it. My simple definition is what is desirable to the users. If we know what is possible with technology and what is viable in the market. If you see, for example, the telephone set, each company would come up with number of models in a given year. Why? They are constantly studying user behavior. They are trying to see what new facility consumer is looking for, how they could economize the cost, how they could make system more user friendly, and accordingly they are coming up with newer models. So please keep that thing in mind. And then you need to be very clear why you are doing the project. So one is of course basic science research. Here we are expecting you to develop new knowledge, publish that knowledge into a good journal. But if you are doing project for society, we would like to utilize the existing knowledge or develop some new knowledge to solve a challenge and help the student. And third is product-oriented research, where we are expecting you to develop new product, generate new process and new IP. So that concept needs to be very clear to you. And then even if you have an idea, you need to make sure why you are the best candidate. So you should have good understanding of that subject and accordingly you can take it forward. And then you need to do the action plan. What is that you can do or your student can do? What is that you would require help from some other faculty? Whether that faculty is within your institute or outside. Why you are choosing a particular pathway? Do we have several sets? Do we have one set? So that you need to do. The next aspect is infrastructure support. So even if you have having a good idea, a good background, but what kind of equipment you would require for that you need to be very clear. I always recommend that you should do something based on local resources, local questions. For example, you are sitting in Meerut and you pick up a problem being faced by, let us say, society in Nilgiri or society in Northeast. It's not going to be of much importance because you are so far from them. Better take something what is happening in NCR region. Maybe you can go to Northwest Himalaya, take challenges from there and do. And of course, for that you need to utilize local resources, local manpower, traditional skills and those things. Other thing is your proposal should look professional. Now, several times we make a mistake that we are writing long text with no references, no sketches. My sketches reminds me, you see, all of you are teachers. When a student has written key-based answer to a question and has drawn a sketch, what would you read or see first?
Sketch.
So why don't you do same thing in writing the project? Okay. These are very, very small things, but they help because when someone sees the sketch, has complete idea, the fellow will not read it. Only if your sketch is clear enough, fellow gets good idea why it should be supported. And then the USP, each scheme is there for a purpose. So first thing you should see why that scheme, why that program has been launched, and are you addressing that particular USP? Use right format. Now, we should not feel that NIRF or CSIR or DBT or any other funding agency has one format for all these schemes. No. Because each scheme is different, so some kind of questions are very specific to that particular scheme. So maybe 80% format is same, but 20% could be very specific to that scheme. So that you must take care. And then very often we ignore the stakeholders. So we feel that we are doing research, we know the subject, but eventually who is going to use it? That also we should take into the consideration. So my recommendation is follow the guidelines. First develop a skeleton, have kick-off meeting with stakeholders, and then you write your grant proposal, make it purposeful, prepare attachment, and then you can submit. So with this background, we come to writing. So when we are writing, of course you need to be concise, you need to avoid superfluous words or phrases, and use active words. Very often we write, whenever we are writing third party, we say like in passive voice, it should be more of active voice. That is something very important. Don't use jargons. A lot of people will throw away. They will see that what are the most trending scientific jargon, somehow place it in the, it's not required. You need to be simple, you need to be straight, and then it could come. What are the pitfalls? Sometimes you promise the moon. You know, basic purpose of project, if you see the English word project, it means that you are doing one projection. So, objective cannot be multiple. Objective could be one. There could be 2 or 3 or 4 sub-objectives to achieve the primary objective. But you cannot achieve so many things because people would like to see the background. Suppose in background, you have done your PhD, you have 2 years research experience, it means you are still a beginner. And you need to be more focused. But if your background says that you have 20-year experience, you have done a lot of work, obviously you can broaden the canvas. So you need, then don't use generality. Very often I have read proposal, and when you are introducing the subject, you, not you, several faculty when they are introducing the subject, they are doing as if they are teaching to undergraduate students. Don't do that. You should come, you should talk about the question you are going to address. And then don't assume people know you. Because for each proposal you need to qualify by yourself. There should not be any hidden cost. Don't send proposal in the last moment. It deprives you opportunity to revise. Be ambitious but realistic. As I said, people are looking what kind of promises you are making. So if you are entering into a new territory, 2 recommendations I would like to have. One, go into collaboration mode with a fellow who is established in other field. Or at least write one paper to show as a proof of concept that you understand new area also. As I said earlier, reviewer would like to feel confident that you understand the subject. So for that it is very, very good. Now this is where I was saying that your science is your science. So contents are obviously the most important part. You need to be focused. You need to show why you are participating in that scheme. You need to provide all details, include everything. Take time for revision. Maintain your individuality. Methodology should be defined in step-wise manner. No need for details. Nobody is looking. They're just looking for pathways. What you are going to follow. Is it logical? Is it feasible? Will it take you to the decision path or result of what you are trying to achieve? They are looking only from that perspective. Okay, so in case you are going for survey or those kind of things, you can make questionnaires and you should know who are the targeted beneficiaries. Budget, of course, is not a deciding factor. It is taken into consideration only after they find your proposal technically feasible. Then only they will discuss budget. But it does not mean that you should just go like that, but you should know what are the project objectives and what it takes to achieve those project objectives. I think all of you know about the timeline, so that is very important. Timeline gives you a control that how long a particular activity should go. Sometimes it will go a little faster, sometimes it will go a little slower, it doesn't matter, but overall it gives you a guidance. And then to look more professional, formatting, designing, pagination, even referencing, cross-referencing, it all helps in giving you those connections. And then you should put your focus, what are the promised outcomes. Now, people would like to see what is your end goal. And if they are very convinced of your end goal, they would like to support. Now, in terms of last minute check, proofreading and editing. Proofreading could be done by machine. So even if you are using MS Office, so they can do these proofreading things. But editing is your style. How you are presenting the idea. Now, here a lot of people ask me a question that can I use AI tools? Yes, you can use, but don't reproduce what AI tool has given you, because then it would be caught by the machine. Okay. Use AI tools to develop a narrative, then absorb it, and then rewrite in your own way. Because until it comes in your own style, what happens? Suppose you are even screening for presentation, and then they will see your English or your style is not the same what you have written. Then they will understand that you are not perfect. So it is always important, even if you are using AI tools to develop the narrative, you should absorb it first. Then you rewrite in your own way. Okay, clarity of thought, logic, and organizations. So these are very important. And then you should do the SWOT analysis. Now, why SWOT analysis is important? You should know why your project should be supported or thanked. Now, if you know what is the strongest point, what is the weakest point in the project, you feel more confident and you can do it. Then, mentoring is another important aspect. Now, mentoring is important, especially for those who are, let us say, PhD plus 5 years. They need to be guided. Very often we feel that now, okay, I have done PhD, I have done PDF, I will write independently, but still you are not very clear what funding agencies are expecting. So it is important you consult a senior. Now that senior could be your PhD supervisor. That fellow could be someone senior in your department. If you are not confident, you could talk to a senior in some other department. Okay, because here people are not reading your science. People are reading whether you have presented your ideas clearly. Whether a third party who is not from that field can also absorb your ideas. And then of course you need to see what are the deadlines, what is required, and then you submit. So these days of course a lot of proposals are submitted in online mode, but still some would require physical copy or email copy, PDF copies. So once you have submitted, the proposal will go for reference and reviewing, and then there would be administrative processing. Now, referring means it will go to people in close proximity of your area of research, who understand your subject much better, and they can make good comments on your proposal. Normally, odd number of referees are taken. Minimum 3, it could be 5, it could be 7, depending upon the quantum of funds you had asked for. And then we are seeing whether opinions of the referees is roughly similar, or if one fellow has a very different view than others. So that different view, suppose we have sent 5 referees, 4 have written roughly same, and one has written either extremely yes or extremely no. So that extreme opinion will not be taken into consideration. So remaining four which are consistent to each other would be taken into consideration. Second stage is reviewing. Reviewing is more of your eye contact, your body language. People are looking, so the fellow who would listen to you, they may not be from exactly your area, but they understand your science very broadly. And they would like to see how you are presenting the idea. Sometimes they would ask you questions which are not connected with the project, just to see how do you take a different question. Okay, how cool you are. That is the tagline, if I could say. And then, yes, and then there would be administrative processing. So once they have recommended, your project would be checked for plagiarism. If similar project has already been done by you and you have already got something, or lot of reports these days especially are coming for falsification of data or fabrication. I think all of you are familiar that India is one of the culprit countries where large number of retraction is taking place. Now this is something to be avoided. Even Department of Education has said that retraction would reflect adversely in your NIRF ranking. In scientific grants also, it is going to be adversely affected. So please make sure that your research paper are ethical, you are writing in a good. Now understand the dynamics of review. Reviewers receive many applications, like you are assessing the answer sheet during an examination. So suppose you have got a batch of 40 students. How much time you will take to assess? 2 hours. That's maximum. Same way reviewers will do it. So they would read many proposals if it's not exciting enough. So make sure that you are maintaining impact and significance throughout so that you can sustain their interest. And once they are on your side, they would be advocating for you that this project needs to be supported. So 3 primary questions they are addressing: why you are doing this, how you are going to do this, and why you should do it. And if you could convince them on these questions, you will get it. So good luck to all of you, and if you are able to do this thing, it will be. But in case you are not getting through, don't give up. Okay, end of one project is not end of your life. As I said a little ago, when your parents reject your wishes, it doesn't mean you will not make second wish, third wish. You will continuously do it. So don't give up. If you are convinced of the ideas, get reviews, reevaluate, revise, resubmit, and even you could go for some other agencies. Why projects are rejected? Because of several reasons. Like it doesn't meet the agency's priority. Guidelines are not followed, idea is not compelling, not presented clearly, methodology is not clear, overuse of jargons, overly ambitious, narrative and budget don't correspond, bad presentation, or similar work has been done earlier. Friends, even if your idea is good, all of that is not going to be supported because funds are limited. Okay, and any funding agency could support only those number of proposals which allow its allocations. So it's something like your salary. So you get X amount and you plan that this will go for rental, this will go for children education, this will go for clothing, this will go for grocery. So you have a pocket. Suppose you have planned, just assume 5,000 rupees for the grocery and your grocery will come to 8,000. What will you do? You will cut down some other thing. Right? Same way funding agencies, they would not like to overcommit. They would like to do. So it is important that you become a leader. And how you can become leader? If you have convinced referees on various points which we have discussed. You could be self-critical, take it forward, and if not this, the next will take you forward. Thank you very much. I will be happy to take any questions. Yes.
So I have multiple points which I want to
Yeah.
inquire. So basically, I belong.
Can I come here?
Actually, I'm not a teacher, so I'm not used to this.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So basically, I belong to industry for a long period of time,
Yeah.
and now I've started the academic experience. My research was core into cancer therapy, but as we all know, India has a handful of companies which are working on core research, that too into applied therapeutics. I have done multi-ways activities into the corporate, and now in academia if I'm working into some project. As what you said, to maintain your profile in a particular domain, I have a variable profile, and probably much of our colleagues must be having the same thing. And secondly, to counter the other point which you were mentioning, to not be over ambitious about your facility or the infrastructure that you have been provided with the institution or the organization in which you are. So matching both of them, either of the both will be having a leg in. Either I am not touching my field or I am not touching the infrastructure.
No. See, let me try to answer it. See, in industry you had varied exposure, but primarily your focus was cancer therapy, right?
No.
Then what was that? You used that cancer therapy.
Yes. So my PhD is in cancer therapy, but I have
No,
worked.
that is different. What is
Yes,
your industry exposure?
industry experience was into majorly into research management.
Okay, so no exclusive field.
No,
Okay.
it was various field and
Yeah.
probably
So-
documentation, regulatory affairs,
Okay.
so and so forth.
Okay, so you need to now establish your domain
Again, I have to
expertise.
establish the
Correct.
benchmark.
Now you need to see whether you would like to start from cancer therapy or you would like to do something new.
Yes.
And then you need to prove yourself through some publication in a given domain. The moment you make 2 or 3 good publications in a given domain, people would start investing in you in that area.
Initially, we have to go for the publications. Then
Yes.
only we can go for
You
funding.
need to prove that you are what? As I said, civil rating and salary. So civil, until there is a civil rating, your idea may be very strong, but since they may not have confidence in investing you, so that is required.
And how about the infrastructure?
Infrastructure, of course, each institute has limitations. We fully realize. But you should know what kind of equipment you need to carry out the research and where are those equipment. Now, you need to tie up with those institutions and they will help you. And then there are facilities like IUC. Have you heard Inter-University Centers? Use them. They are precisely for that purpose. So, those of you who have not heard about Inter-University Center, IUC, it's a UGC created infrastructure where lot of equipment facilities are there. You need to give your experiment and if they approve of it, you can go there and do your experiment. No equipment charges. They provide you travel, of course, by train. They provide you accommodation. So there is no, except that you are away from your home institution for a given number of days when you are busy, but you can do your experiments.
Right.
So you should know what kind of equipment you require, where are they housed, have a preliminary discussion with them that you are submitting a proposal on such and such theme and you would like to conduct such and such experiment and you may be allowed to do this thing. Now, if you go outside IUC, you go to different institutions, you may get several options. One option is bench fee. Per experiment, you may have to pay this much money. Second is what many people are doing these days. Instead of paying bench fee, they make the host of that facility as a collaborator and jointly publish.
Right.
So it depends how you negotiate, but you can get that. And also, I would like to tell, especially to the female faculty, that there is a portal called ISTEM, by Principal Science Advisor Office, which lists all equipment in the country. You can log in over there, free facility for the female students.
One more question. As you mentioned that we can identify the collaborators and work together with them. What weightage does the third party has in that particular proposal dynamics?
Actually,
in today's
we are expecting that PIE needs to be good in that area. So, strength would be taken on the team.
Right.
How each team member is contributing and who is working.
So leading to that, one more question, and that will be my last one.
Then we go.
When we were discussing about the opportunity of grants, you mentioned that there are grants for infrastructure and instrument. So are there any specifications for the instrument grants?
You need to be minimum 6 faculty together
Okay.
in a given department. Discuss the research idea, identify research focus for next 5 years, and what kind of equipment you would require for them. So,
And does that do we have to mention that all the 6 faculty will be there for all the 5 years, or
no,
there can
it
be
is
additional
only at the
grant?
initial time when assessment is taken place, the all should be there.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So when we talk about the computer science based project, so most of the projects are application based. So what things can add up to the chances of acceptance
No,
already-
actually it depends on the subject you are handling. For example, you want to help a gynecologist. Okay, how pregnancy is being developing. Okay, so of course, the gynecologist has a different idea. As a computer scientist, you can do the modeling, simulations, and lot of other things. But your simulation, modeling is of no use unless it is accepted by the gynecologist. So why don't you start together?
Suppose we
Take
have-
the basic question statement from them. What are their challenges and how you can help them through your facilities.
So we need to have a part of society who will be benefited from that knowledge.
Yes, yes.
So we need
Not
to-
society, practitioner if I could use the word. So it could be a chemist, it could be a biologist, it could be a physicist.
Suppose I am building some project for the students.
Yeah.
We are building some platform for the students. So we can take up some comments from the students like how it can be benefited for.
Yes. Students, maybe from your management, because what is their perspective on the students, how students should be nurtured in total. Yeah. Thank you. Any other fellow?
Any questions, audience, please?
Yeah.
Welcome, sir. Thank you for an elaborative answers and elaborative lecture for all of us. Would like to ask one thing. You talked about a DST Fest program. So similarly, DBT, the Builders program, is here for this program.
DBT Builder program is all for life sciences. Not for all sciences, but only for life sciences. So if you are doing biotechnology, bioengineering, biology, life science, then it's finished.
Two more supplementary questions. The new meeting is exclusively for students or faculty members?
Young faculty can participate. So we are preferring candidates less than 40 years.
And the Prime Minister's fellowship, the BTech students after completing the BTech.
No, it is a research. So they should be a research student, PhD student.
After doing the BTech, they can apply for the same.
You see, some university allow even undergraduate to be admitted to PhD programs. So if they are admitted to PhD programs, they are eligible for that.
So first they need to get enrolled in the PhD program, then they need to apply for that. Thank you.
Any other question? Audience, please. After I am guessing, sir. No. So thank you very much, Dr.
So my presentation is with the college, and if you wish, you can take it. I think you are handling it or something?
Right.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And if I could just say, I am posting lot of research opportunity on my social media page. So if you wish, you can follow it.
Follow it on LinkedIn.
You are already following. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, all of audience. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Anil Kumar. We would like to propose the vote of thanks.
Vote of thanks on this occasion. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our respected director sir, जो short time में मुझे encourage किया. Director and Dean IQAC and HOD Applied Science, Dr. Beenakshi Sharma, ma'am, for their continuous encouragement and support in promoting research activities and creating a research-oriented environment in our institutions. Nevertheless, I sincerely express my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest of today, Dr. S.K. Vasne sir, formerly advisor and head Department of Science and Technology and also bilateral International Corporates of India. Literally, for sparring his valuable time to be with us and delivery such an insightful and enlightening content to ignite and rejuvenate our thought process toward research orientations. Here, sir, I am highly obliged and grateful to you for accepting our invitation and redirect this academic excellence and acumen with a short stipulated time frame. Your lecture has provided us with a clear understanding of the importance of research funding and the various opportunities available for obtaining financial support for research projects for government organizations such as a PhD, DAVT, SERB also. I am confident that everyone present here has been highly inspired and motivated by your valuable mentoring strategy and immense guidance. Your insightful will certainly encourage our faculty members and research scholars to develop innovative research proposals and actively explore opportunity for research funding from various government agencies. It is also a matter of great honor for us that have been associated with several prestigious organizations and governing bodies, including the Indo-US Endowment Fund, the International Advanced Research Center for Powder Metallurgy and New Material (ARCI), and the US-India Education Foundation. Your extensive experience and association with such eminent organizations will undoubtedly create instrumental scholarly dynamic to explore and apply for research funding through these and other reputed agencies to accomplish their desired destination. Last but not least, before culmination, I humbly express and extend my sincere thanks and gratitude to Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Vasne for his valuable time, inspiring word and expert guidance. Once again, I extend my sincere thanks to the management, director sir, HOD ma'am, faculty members, research scholars, and all the participants of making this expert talk a grand success. I owe the credit to him for his meaningful discourse and making this academic event memorable. That will be definitely resonate in the future to inspire. Thank you, sir, for being with us and encouraging our knowledge with your valuable insight. Thank you very much all.
Thank you. Thank you.
फोटो ले लो भाई जरा सारा पूरा देखो